Hey, how's it going, fight fans? Welcome to Mind for Combat. If you're new to this channel, my name's Rohan. If you're new here, why don't you help me grow my channel? All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, like the video, dislike it if you don't, and maybe get involved in the conversation in the comment section below. With that said, for this video I'm going to be doing something a bit different. The world of MMA is a little bit quiet. There's some big cards going on, but aside from the Zabit fight, which I've already broken down, check out that breakdown if you haven't already. I didn't really want to do a breakdown on the Alexander Volkov versus Greg Hardy fight, and other than that, it's generally a bit quiet. But one of the things I definitely wanted to touch on was the KSI and Logan Paul fight that's coming up. Now, I originally thought about doing a breakdown for that fight, but then I thought, you know what? It's hard to technically break down a fight between two guys who've only ever had, I think this is going to be their second fight or something, and the first fight was against each other, and I watched their first fight, but it's pretty damn impossible to break down that fight because you don't really know what you're going to get with either of these guys. But with that said, that's irrelevant anyway, because the focal point for this video is KSI versus Logan Paul 2 headlining a pay-per-view attraction with Billy Joe Saunders a world champion and Devin Haney a world champion on the undercard. Is that disrespectful to the sport of boxing, and how does that impact boxing overall? Now, there's a couple of considerations when you come into that fight. Firstly, this isn't something new in the sport of boxing. It also happens with MMA. Think about CM Punk signing with the UFC. It's normal. Brock Lesnar was a star attraction, and the star attraction tends to get the top billing. It doesn't matter who the best fighter is in a lot of cases. The star attraction will always get the top billing, and that makes sense if you think about it from a business standpoint. Maybe not from a sporting standpoint, but from a business perspective. You're going to want the biggest star at the top because the biggest star is the top attraction. That's who you sell the tickets based on. It makes sense. He's the biggest star, therefore he gets the top slot. Okay, it makes sense. When we're talking about this fight, what we're talking about is two guys who are making their professional debut in a 6-round fight. Yes, they got a lot of online clout. They're huge YouTubers, but they're headlining over a guy like Billy Joe Saunders, who won a world title at middleweight, has moved up to super middleweight, and he's won a world championship and he's defending his world title. And then you've got Devin Haney, an undefeated top prospect, who's also got a world title. So actually he's not a prospect, he's a world champion, an undefeated world champion, young man who's got tons of potential. How does this impact them? Now, in my opinion, when we're looking at it from a financial perspective for both those gentlemen, I have no problem with it because it's actually good for them. Neither of those guys, Devin Haney nor Billy Joe Saunders, all due respect to them, I'm a huge fan of both, but neither of those guys, beyond the hardcore boxing fans, will ever be able to sell pay-per-views on the level that KSI and Logan Paul can, and that's just facts. It's unfortunate for both of them both. I wish it wasn't like that. I personally will always support them, but that's not reality. My perception is not reality when we're talking about the overall landscape of the economic structure of the world and the way business works. So from their standpoint, it works. Where things get blurry from a sporting standpoint, especially if you're a boxing fan, is it disrespectful that a guy who you followed his entire career, he's on a card but he's being underbilled from guys that have never ever fought professionally, guys that have no talent in the sport, but they're well known? How does that impact them? In my opinion, as a fan, you have to be open and be accepting and understand the social and economical climate of the world, and you've got to understand the fact that there is some harsh realities in real life, and some of those harsh realities are people won't pay for fighters they don't know about. They would rather pay to watch someone that they know. That's facts. That's just the way it is, and that's why I've never had a problem with billings or certain billings being certain ways. For example, when Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes took the main event slot over Robbie Lawler versus Rory MacDonald, an interim featherweight title fight put together in the last minute. It took top billing over a world title fight of a rematch, which is a great fight and probably one of the greatest fights of all time. I had no issue with that because I knew the star on that card was Conor McGregor. There was never no dispute or discussion there, was there? It's kind of the same with this. And now there's a lot of outrage around the world, especially in the boxing community, that this is taking the billing and they're saying it's disrespectful to boxing. Actually, no, it's not disrespectful to boxing at all. And actually, in a lot of ways, this is what boxing needs. Boxing, in a lot of ways, can't get out of its own way. Boxing is its own biggest enemy. The biggest fights, they don't happen in boxing. Guys are protected, guys are ducking, they hide behind negotiations, and they hide behind contracts, they hide behind being signed by this promotion and accusing each other of ducking someone and someone doing this. Boxing is its own biggest enemy. A fight like this, what this does is it brings a lot of attention to boxing. Two brilliant talents of Billy Joe and Devin Haney, and I'm focusing on them because they're absolutely outstanding talents. it brings a lot of eyes, maybe over 1 million eyes of attention to both of those fighters that those eyes would never have known nothing about. They will tune in to pay to watch KSI Logan Paul, which is the main event. But then when they see these guys, oh, actually, damn, these guys are great. Maybe I'll watch them next time. What that means is, yes, for KSI Logan Paul, in the interim, they're seen as the key attraction over Billy Joe Saunders. Well, that's facts. But in reality, you're helping them to build up the profiles of Billy Joe Saunders and Devin Haney. So from a sporting perspective, it brings in millions of new eyes to the sport of boxing, which weren't otherwise watching boxing. From a financial perspective, it brings money to the pocket of the boxers on the undercard, the ones that you're so outraged about. And from a logical perspective, the biggest star is taking the top attraction. Okay. Yes, they're making their debuts, but I have no issue with that. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. Because aside from just boxing and sport, this is also entertainment. Eddie Hearn's a good businessman. This is good business. Whatever you want to say about Eddie Hearn, he's a great businessman. He understands the sport of business, the sport of boxing, and he understands the world of business. And he's put it together greatly for this event. They've also made it a professional fight with no headgear, which is brilliant, because you might get to see one of them guys knocked out, which is funny. But this is going to be a great fight. Now, fight fans, it's going to be a great event. When I say great fight, that's obviously a very relative term. But this is the kind of thing that the sport of boxing needs. Boxing needs to be able to get out of its own way for it to continue to flourish, and for people to be able to find the same love for boxing that I have for it, and for people to be able to, for you guys to be able to find the same love for boxing that you have for MMA. Because I know a lot of you guys that watch my content are just MMA fans. Anyways, guys, why don't you comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on stuff like this. I personally don't have an issue with it. Whilst it's not my key thing, I'm not going to be staying up to watch it. I may watch the Billy Joe Saunders fight and stuff. If it's on and I'll pay for the pay-per-view, I'll probably watch it. But I think you know what I mean. Yeah, it's not something I personally will stay out for, but if it brings more attention to the boxers on the undercard, brings more money to their pocket, and helps the sport of boxing flourish, I couldn't give a damn about whose position is where. And honestly, there's just no reason to even care. Everyone's getting paid, everyone's happy, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe, share out the video, all that jazz. Thank you for watching, guys. Mind for Combat.